All right, a little more on some knowledge. All right, so I've been seeing a lot of people talk about living in the ego and it's bad to live in the ego, and I don't think we really got into the deep conversation about living into the ego. The thing is though, is living in the ego is not just necessarily a bad thing. There's no good and bad, there's no right and wrong, and if it is, that means one can't be without the other. In a story, there is no hero without a supervillain. So, yin and yang, hot and cold, up, down, front, right, in, out. That's life. But let's talk about the ego for a minute. People talk so bad about living in the ego. And the problem is they're not telling you that there are times where it's okay to live in the ego. It's okay for certain times you can actually live in the ego. Living in the ego should be recreational. It should be like a cheat day. For those who know what bodybuilding is, it's pretty much is the day. I'm not being literal for you to eat this stuff, but on your cheat day, if you're a bodybuilder, that means you can eat all the bad stuff that you want. You can skip the boring foods for the day and eat all the bad stuff. That's the cheat day. So living in the ego should be for recreational. Because there's times where you want to feel good. There's times you want to be good. There's times you want to desire certain things. Sometimes you want to sit back and watch the movie. Sometimes you want to sit back and entertain yourself with a little things. And sometimes some things, funny things, are things that are unexpected. Sometimes you wanna take yourself and be in the ego. The problem with living in the ego is when you're living in the ego too much, that you forget your higher self. It's okay to acknowledge somebody's appearance is beautiful. That's acknowledging their ego for a split second. Acknowledge the ego, acknowledge what the ego like, even indulge in it just a little, but come back to your higher self. Always come back to the higher self. Because if you live in the ego too much, you will start to dumb down the knowledge and the enlightenment that you have within yourself. So, and the thing is, the ego is necessary because anything that's here is necessary. Everything have a reason for being in existence. And guess what? The ego exists. So with that being said, since you're here, it's okay to acknowledge certain things. It's okay to go get the haircut. It's okay to look nice. It's okay to go to the gym to want to look better. It's okay to enjoy life still. Life is made to be enjoyed. That's why you're in the physical realm. The part about being in the physical realm, though, is make sure that you keep a hold of your higher self. Make sure you hold on to your higher self. Make sure you don't forget that there's something that you got to make sure that you don't forget about the higher self. Because when you cheat on your higher self or your ego too much, then you starting to tone down the true essence of yourself. Because the ego is the enemy if you become attached to it. And the way to become attached to the ego is to neglect the higher self. But once you put the ego and the consciousness on the same page, that's when you become unstoppable. And for those who don't know what the ego just simply means the flesh. That's what the ego is. The ego is this haircut. The ego is this shirt, the flesh, material. That's ego. It's okay to enjoy. It's to be enjoyed. This is all to be enjoyed. Enjoy it while you can. While you in this realm, enjoy certain things. Don't overindulge. That's all I'm saying. Don't overindulge in the ego. It's okay to live in the ego, but don't overindulge. Only live in the ego in the right time. I just wanted to share that little knowledge with you. I have so much to offer, but I can't. I have so much to offer, but it's not material. But I can't be stingy with my knowledge. That's the whole purpose of life. Is when you have knowledge, you make sure you spread it. Never be stingy with your knowledge, because wherever your knowledge came from, or whoever gave it to you, or whatever gave it to you, or what spirit God gave it to you, it wasn't stingy to give it to you. So whatever that is given to you must be shared with others. That's why you can reference it with the other videos. Always make sure you share your gift. If you have a hidden talent and you don't use it, then you're not sharing your gift. Because whenever you share your gift, it pays you back. That's the point of getting paid for what you love to do. So continue to embrace greatness, walk in positivity, and let the light in you shine so bright that they illuminate the path for others to see it in themselves.